What is good with you guys, man? Thank you for tuning in to another video. So as you guys can see, the E30 is back on the lift. Now there's a couple things that I want to do to this car today, but there's also a couple things that I want to show you guys as well. So let's go ahead and flip these on. Oh shit, those are bright. Anyway, I wanted to show you guys the complete exhaust that is finally done, going from the turbo back all the way to the end of the car. The dump tube for the wastegate is also right here. There goes the tile wastegate. Hopefully you guys can see that. I know it's pretty dark. One V-band clamp here and one by the downpipe. This is literally the only muffler. I guess you can say it's a muffler now, but it's really a vibrant ultra quiet resonator, and it just leads to the stock two tips out of the back of the E30. These are 3-inch tips. Honestly, find these anywhere. They're pretty generic. Yeah, as far as the intercooler piping goes, that has also been complete. As you guys can see, the intercooler is right here. So here is the hot side that goes straight to the turbo. This is a pre-made hole. It's pretty much in every E30, so we just utilized it to run this side of the intercooler piping to the intercooler. And on the cold side, we ran it really close, but it is not touching the belt or the pulley here, but it is definitely really close, and I really like how these came out. Once again, shout out to Fabrication for doing their thing on this. You can see a tiny bit of pie cuts through the bumper, through the valence. So today, the main reason I have the car on the lift is because it is missing a few clamps. We didn't have them when the car was getting fabricated. Really not a big deal because the car is not making any boost as of right now. But I went ahead and picked up the clamps, and we are going to be installing them today. I also told you guys that if I do run into any type of issues with this car, I'll definitely keep you guys updated. Issue number one, and the car is not even tuned yet. The solid guibo that you guys saw me put in actually completely came out of its place. I lost two of the solid rubber bushings, one here and one here. It looks like it just literally pulled out of the guibo of this metal piece. So don't be cheap like me and try to do this adapter shit. Just get the right drive shaft for your car. I had a feeling that this guibo was gonna be pretty bad to begin with. I literally only drove the car about a few miles. Nothing crazy because I really can't drive it like this. So just goes to show you that even with so little driving, it already has failed on me. Right now, I'm definitely in search of the correct drive shaft. What is needed for this specific application is a ZF drive shaft with the big flange up front, because it is a ZF in here now, and it also has to have the, where is it, the 4-bolt rear. That is crazy. But anyway, trying to not focus on the negative things for now, trying to just get all the cool stuff done for you guys so the video is actually entertaining. So the first thing I'm gonna do is definitely throw this clamp on here, put the car down so you guys can see the rest of the intercooler piping, and we'll just take it from there. And now that the car is finally down, here is the rest of the intercooler piping. This is the downpipe. Looks really nice. Turbo's already rusting though, that's crazy. Everything on here looks really good. Let's go ahead and go over to this side. I don't think I've ever even showed you guys when this thing got complete, so my bad on that, but you guys are seeing it right now. Got all the clamps on, everything looks good now. Another thing I wanted to show you guys is this cool little piece I've also got for this car. Now, as you guys know, I did take out the I-beam on this side, and basically that's where this will go. So basically it's just literally an empty space there, and I'm hoping this fills that gap pretty nicely. I forgot exactly where I got this from. It was a cool guy on Instagram. I'll definitely shout him out at the end of this video or on my Instagram. But I feel like this is gonna look so much better than having a big old empty space there. And when you look close enough, you see a little turbo. I'm gonna try to get this on today, see how it looks, and I'll show you guys when it's done. The piece actually came with three, what it looks like are 13 mils. This is the 3 spots where a normal headlight would mount up here. If you guys can see, let me get a light for you guys actually. How is it? So there are 3 slots here, all to the left in this case. So what I'm gonna do is throw this in here. Well, now that I see how it mounts up, it's probably gonna go something like this. Have these 3 studs facing this way. Throw it in here. Should fit. Imagine it doesn't fit. There we go. Just throw it in like so, and then open the hood and try to bolt it on from the rear with this. So just got it all mounted up. Looks pretty sick. Can still see the turbo through it. So 13 mils just literally went right back here. Those are all 3 of them. As long as I get a little turbo guard right here, this should let plenty amount of air in for the turbo to soak up. Our final look with everything on. Looks really, really cool. I really like how it came out. Just a couple things going on in the shop. We are doing a manual swap on this E60 M5. So the trans is out. This is the SMG trans. I like to call it the SMG. They go bad on E60s, they go bad on E46s. So this owner was smart enough to go ahead and get a manual trans for us to do a manual swap on it. But on these cars, the actual engine harness has to be converted to a manual engine harness so that it can work with a manual transmission. As you can see, a bunch of electronics go to the SMG trans. So all that has to be converted over to a manual. So a bunch of stuff gets deleted and things like that. Super, super clean M5. Only has about 40,000 miles on it. Can't wait for this thing to be done. It's actually the next day. I got the E30 back on the lift because I have some pretty good news. Finally was able to source the back half of this ZF Driveshaft. So as you guys know, this front half I've had for a while now. I actually made a video on picking it up. It was the video where I was doing donuts in this car with my dad. Victory Donuts or no?
Okay, we were just making donuts. He says he sounds like a fart.
If you guys haven't seen that video, go check it out. It's a really funny video. That was the day that I picked this drive shaft up. Must have been a couple months ago. I'm not gonna lie, it has been a while since I got this. But this is actually an E36 manual ZF front half drive shaft. So all I was really missing was the back portion of this, because the way this E30 drive shaft splits is this portion stays male and this portion is the female on the original 318 E30 drive shaft. So I could have done this exact same setup with the drive shaft in the car, but it doesn't split the way that I thought it would. So that's why I was honestly just looking for this piece. I couldn't find this piece, so I went ahead and got this stupid shit that I'm about to take off right now. You guys see the open-ended is already here. I'm about to take this off. This stupid converter Guibo from Driveshaft really did not hold up for, I want to say, 2 months of me driving the car under 20 miles an hour, because I cannot push this thing. It is untuned and it has the full turbo setup on it. So obviously I cannot push this thing, plus the motor is just put together, the head is just put together, so I'm still breaking things in. The bearings are fresh, I'm still breaking those in so I can do the first oil change on this motor. But like I said, haven't took this car past 20-30 miles an hour and these bushings literally popped out. So today my solution to this is to finally do what I meant to do in the first place and get an actual complete ZF drive shaft in this thing with a 4-bolt rear. We're gonna go ahead, get the drive shaft off this car, get everything off, guibo, center bearing, and the back portion off today, and try to throw this on and see if everything works. It should work. And if this doesn't work at this point, I'm about to just take probably this is a good tool to use, and just start beating the shit out of this car. Look at this shit, bro. You guys want to see what my drive shaft was holding on to this whole time? And right now is a perfect time to explain what I meant by I wasn't able to use my E30 drive shaft. I know I said it before, but just for clarification, this is the drive shaft that obviously just came off the car. You guys see the solid mounts on here. So I just took this one off. Now, when you look at this is the tranny side, and this is the side that stays male. E30 318 drive shaft, this is how it comes from factory, and you can't really do anything with a ZF rear half because this is already a male. So that can't be a male and that can't be a male at the same time. So I would not be able to put a ZF front half with this because these are both front halves. Pretty strange. A lot of people told me that I could do it. That's why I went ahead and only bought that front half. But after actually looking into it, maybe the 325s are different, but definitely on this 318, this is what I had to work with. And I'm pretty sure on every 318 is different. So older BMWs just worked a little bit weirder, but it's whatever. We have the complete piece now, so we can actually do this. I had and clean the teeth with some with a metal brush and some WD-40. Clean inside here so it's easy to slip on. This goes on first. You throw this in, then you throw the drive shaft in, and then adjust it obviously in the car because you can have, you know, this much adjustment. Not really ideal to keep the drive shaft that far away, but you know, about this much room to play with. Then you go ahead and tighten this piece on and the drive shaft will stay firm. So once again, we have some good and some bad news. Everything works, everything lines up, but the center bearings are different. So I actually cannot use that center bearing. So I'm gonna have to take off the center bearing, basically just swap them over. Let's see if I can do that. If I can do that, everything will line up. The drive shaft was literally in, and the only thing was left to do was the center bearing, and the center bearing just does not fit in the E30 tunnel. So the E36 center bearing will not fit on an E30. Now we have to swap the center bearing, but it's all good. All the center bearing is held by is a snap ring, which I already got out. It's somewhere, it's right here. You get yourself some snap ring pliers, take that off. Then there's this little cover here for the snap ring. You also take that out, it slides right out. But this is the most annoying part, especially doing it with one person. Basically, you just have to get some sort of chisel, throw it in here, past this rubber piece, and try to hammer the center bearing out. Light taps all around, it should come out. Hopefully this shit does not give me a hard time, but I have to do it twice now, and this is not a fun job. So I'm gonna go ahead and put the camera down, see how quick I could do this, so I can put everything together and take the car for a drive, make sure everything checks out. Okay, so finally, everything is on the way it should be. Now just gotta tighten everything up. 4 bolts are not on here yet. Still gotta put those nuts on, but everything lines up. E30 center bearing E36 automatic rear half, E36 manual front half ZF drive shaft, E36 M3 Guibo. So finally, out of piecing 3 cars together, we got one drive shaft for the E30. Finally got the car outside. It's super dark, so I apologize if the video quality is ass now, but because of those center bearings, this job took me a lot longer than it should have. So I'm just trying to drive this shit around the block and not have any issues, not hear anything stupid, and just let everything work the way it should, and hopefully it does. Okay, so far the drive shaft is doing what it's supposed to do. Okay. Like I said, I can't really beat on the car, so you guys are not gonna really get to hear what the car sounds like. I don't even know what the car sounds like top end. It does have a really nice and deep tone. This shit already makes some turbo noises. It's not even building Bruce the proper way, but oh, nice little Golf. It looks like we're good, man. It looks like we're good. The car feels good. Once again, I can't do any hard pulls, but I can definitely feel a difference. Even when those bushings did not pop out of the old Guibo, the car just, it felt super rough, and you could literally feel the drive shaft under you. Right now, it feels like how it's supposed to. Yo, the noises, I cannot get over. I can't wait till this car is actually tuned. Alright guys, so we are currently in the daily, heading home. You guys probably can't see anything. It's super dark in here, but just wanted to give this video an outro. I hope everybody that's watching this is enjoying this series with the E30. The car is getting so close, but there's still so much to do. So just gotta wire in those gauges, throw the ECU in, throw the injectors in, and the car is ready for the dyno, man. So I appreciate everyone for tuning in, and thank you guys for supporting this build, supporting the channel. Hope you guys have a great night, and I am out. Deuces.